Hello, I got some questions from 11.6. Now, if your question was not answered with this video, make sure to go back to the original video for notes, where I show you how to just solve with using the formula. These are more difficult, that's why I'm doing these, but again, if you just had a confusion of how to solve for the volume, make sure you go back to look how to solve using the volume formula of the sphere, so 11.6. So here, I'm given the circumference, like question number 5 from the homework, and I have to figure out what the surface area is. So first you have to know that your surface area formula, which would be 4 times pi times radius squared. Again, you should have gotten that. This one said round to the whole nearest whole number. First I have to know what c means. C means your circumference. So circumference is either diameter times pi or 2 times radius times pi. So this number is equal to that equation. Now if I look at my formula for surface area, I need to know the radius, so I'm going to use this right here. So I'm going to set up the equation. My circumference is equal to my formula, how to find circumference. Both of these are multiplying in between that radius, so if I want to get rid of multiplication, I have to divide. I want to get rid of my 2, and I want to get rid of pi. When you're putting this in your calculator, you have to be careful, because you want to make sure to put this in parentheses, because you're dividing 84 by both of those. One thing when you're dividing 84, just to let you know, if you didn't already notice, I might not be the exact same question that you had from the video, but it's still solving in the same manner. You have to make sure you're dividing by 2 and pi. So if I do 84 divided by 2 pi, I want to make sure to have that in parentheses, or you could do 84 divided by 2, push enter, and then divide by pi. You want to use the pi button, not 3.14. Only use 3.14 if it tells you to. So I'm going to write this as 13.369 is equal to my radius. So now I can use my surface area formula to figure out what the surface area is. So it'd be 4 times pi, again I would be using the pi button, 13.369. Or you should already have that number in your calculator. You could just square it, so that's what I'm physically doing right now. You can't see that I'm doing it, but I am. And then push enter, and then times that by 4, and then times that by the pi button. And I got, and I'm going to round this to the nearest whole number, because that's what my directions tell me, to 2,246. Now it's 46 because my decimal point was a 0.9. And my radius here would be feet squared. It's feet because my original units was feet. It's squared because surface area is squared. So that would be my answer to the first one. Question number 5. A few people asked me for question number 6 if I'm given the volume and I need to find the surface area. So again, first I have to know what my surface area equation is, which we just went over, 4 pi radius squared. I also have to know my volume equation, which is 4/3 pi radius cubed. So that's what I have to do first, is set this number equal to my formula for volume. There's so many different ways that you can actually type this into your calculator. Personally, what I'm going to do is take 17,148 and I'm going to times by 3 because I want to get rid of this division right here. So I'm going to times by 3. So now I'm going to have that number equal to 4 pi radius cubed. So just like the other one, these are both multiplying. So now I'm going to divide in parentheses by 4 pi. 4 pi. So again, when you push divide, you want to make sure to put that in parentheses 4 pi. You're going to get a decimal. So my decimal was this. Something like this. 8.3 is equal to r cubed. Now there's 2 ways that you can get rid of r cubed. You can take the cubic root, or you can take it to the 1/3 power. I'm going to show you how to do this cubic root on your calculator if you didn't already figure it out. However, when I do it on my calculator, it's going to be on my personal calculator. That is a TI-84. If you have a different calculator, it might not work. So, well, this is not very easy doing this. So this is what I already have typed in. what we already went over. So now I'm going to raise this to cubic root. So I'm going to push my math button right there. I'm going to arrow down to this cubic root, push enter. And now if I want just that exact same number, I can push the second key. And then if you look down here, it says ANS, so answer. So it's putting that number in there. So I could actually round that number to 16. So when I do the cubic root of this, I can round that to 16. Another way that you could have done this is if you were to, where is it? I believe on those smaller calculators, it should look something like this with an X in place of it. There should be a little X above that. That's also where you can type in the 3. So that's finding the R. We're not done yet, though. Because now we have to plug that into this equation because it was actually asking for the surface area. So it'd be 4 times pi times 16 squared. And if I do 4 times pi times 16 squared, I get roughly 3,216. And again, my units are inches and surface area is squared. And last but not least, find the volume if I give you the surface area. So again, the volume is 4/3 pi radius cubed. Surface area is 4 pi radius squared. That's going to be equal to this number. Whoops, 3. That's a 3. First thing I'm going to do is actually divide by pi. The reason why I'm just going to divide by pi is because I noticed that I have pi on this side and pi on this side. So I'm really actually dealing with 4r squared is equal to 1,936. Next thing I'm going to do is divide by that 4. So if I do 1,936 divided by 4, I get 484. Now if I want to get rid of something square that's a little bit easier, you take the square root. You should just have the square root button on your calculator. And you get that the radius is 22. Now I can plug it back into that equation right there. Now I have 4/3 pi, my radius, squared. Kidding, cubed. And this one says it wants in the exact units of pi. So if you don't know where the cubic button is, you can just do 22 times 22 times 22. And then you times it by 4, divide by 3. And it's still going to be a decimal because you're divided by 3. But it should be something like this. And my units here are meters, and volume is cubed. And bing, bada, boom. 3 review questions that could be on your quiz, that could be on your test. Have a good one.